welcome back to Art from the Heart. So, what are we going to be doing today? Could it be flowers? Could it be bugs? Could it be a giant golden ostrich? No, it can't be that. I think it's about trees. Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to just do like a bush? Are we going to do a stick? Wait a minute, those aren't even trees. Instead, let's travel. And look, wow, we're in Japan. And Japan has the most beautiful trees ever. And they're called the Japanese Sakura blossom trees. And they are pink and red and white. Ugh, beautiful, beautiful. Makes my heart go boom, boom, boom. Okay, so you and me are going to paint those beautiful trees. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, let's get started. So, first things first. Shocker, it's a palette knife. But before we can even get started, we must learn the trees. So my mom always told me, do you know what the trees always tell me? Or they always ask me. I said, what, Mom? And she says, they always asked me why. And I was like, what do you mean they asked you why? And she showed me that the trees would always branch out. So here's its trunk. And then it would branch out into a Y. But then that Y would branch out into the Y. And that one would branch out into another Y. Then 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 another Y. Too many Ys. But you should always remember this. Trees always ask why. So today, we're gonna answer that question. We're gonna answer that tree's question, why. So, I'm gonna get my palette knife and I'm going to just dip the edge. I'm not gonna do it flat. I'm gonna do it sideways. Now, here's the tough part. What you want to do is that you want to create a trunk that is not too straight. You don't want it like this. You actually want it to just a bit, but not too much. Just a teeny bit. So I'm going to apply it. I'm going to go halfway. I'm going to go, look at that. Just a tiny curve. Maybe over here. Boom. Now, we got our thing. Pretty cool. Looks nice. What we want to do next is that we want to fill it in. And I want to remove any excess that I have on. I basically just want to use the touch. Just a touch. And it kind of will give that trunkish looking style. Very bumpy looking. So now, got my trunk. Really cool. Here's the tough part. When the trees always ask you why, they'll ask you 3 big why questions. So, before you can even do the branches on a tree, the first things first that you have to do is you have to create the limbs. Before my hand, I have my arm. And my arm is a limb. And my fingers are the branches. So before I can make a Y, I need to make, what was it? I need to make a limb. So, it's going to be a bit thicker than the others. One is going to go completely this way, and it's going to be a bit more. So I'm going to just apply it somewhat like this. I'm going to go one like that, but then I'm going to actually have one that goes like this. There you go. Now you have to work off of that. You have to work off here and work off here. There you go. Pretty strange. And if it looks a bit weird, all you have to do is that you just have to gently apply just a bit more. If you want it a bit thicker, because these are your limbs. I can't have teeny tiny little arms that are like little sticks because those are branches. You don't want branches. So, got some thick ones. Pretty thick, I gotta say. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna grab my black. And now I can create my branches. And sticking with the formula, how we're not keeping straight, I'm going to start here and I'm going to curve over here. And remember, in a Y, over here. Going to curve here. Maybe one here. Just like that. Maybe I want to go one that just goes completely between the two and is a bit more straight. Shabam. And I see that the trunk is a bit short, so I'm going to just add a bit of touch. Maybe one that goes whoosh. There you go. Simple, easy, and super cool. That you go. So, we got our tree. Super cool, super neat. But the next thing we got to do is that we have to, as always, have to blot it because you don't want it to be too wet. Because there's a next step that we have to do, but we want to avoid adding more black. Because let's say I add black. Look, this is still wet. And if it's still wet, look, watch. Just imagine I'm patting. Look, the black spreads everywhere. So you want to remove that extra moisture. So I'm going to plant it. I'm going to pat. Smooth it. So I get that whole entire thing. But move it in the direction because you don't want to make them too big. Then get it again. Pat. And pat. There we go. Somewhat dry. So, got it like this. Super cool. That's just the big way to go. So, now here's the cool part. Where is my plastic? It's right over here. And let's say, I had a nice delicious sandwich wrapped in a cling wrap. I'm going to unwrap that cling wrap that I bunched into a ball. Now, I have a plastic see-through. Now, I bet you're wondering, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to cover it? Am I going to wrap the book in it? Am I going to make a present? No. Instead, what we're going to do, I'm going to grab my finger and very, very itty bit. And now, what I'm going to do is my little sandwich plastic is I'm going to grab a touch of red. And you don't want too much. You just want a touch. Whoop, just a bit. Actually, a bit more. Whoop, red. Add a touch. Spread it around a bit, just like that. I'm going to grab pink now. Just a fingerprint, not in the same area. Maybe right here. Boop. Wash it off and spread it around just a bit. Then, white. Now the white, you add just a bit more, but not too much. And you're going to spread it in between the colors. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it. I'm going to just once into a ball, spread out, and maybe I want to fold it here. There we go. So it's barely anything on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply it on, and in certain spots, like here, and maybe a touch here, and then maybe use the other side, add a touch here. And I could see, oh no, I used way too little. You do the same thing as before. Dot, a dot, and a dot. This time, I'm not even going to mix it. Instead of mixing it with my fingers, I'll let the plastic do the job. Just like that. And you can see, if it's too much, it'll be like this. So, you fold it, put it on the other side, reopen, and now we can use it. So now I'm going to gently apply some dark red in certain areas, like right there. Maybe a touch of white here. A touch of pink here. Maybe a bit more red. And there we go. See, it's going to leave just a very light layer. And it's still super pretty, but I can also see the branches underneath. And the nice thing you want to know about these types of trees is that they are a symbol of peace and calmness. Because when you look at these, it's also a sense of love. You know, people get married in Japan because of these beautiful trees. They're just supposed to show peace and tranquility. It's supposed to calm the mind when you look at it. It makes me feel so happy. And it just makes my heart go ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. So now, I'm going to work on just a few more petals because it needs a bit more. But I hope you guys start working on yours while I work on mine. Anyways, I will see you guys later. And I hope you have a wonderful and colorful and artistic day. This was Art from the Heart. And I will see you guys next time.